Okay, well, what is it that you wanted to chat about?
So I am thrilled that I will get to see you in Stockholm pretty soon. And I think we have quite a few people who aren't aware that you will be coming, because you are, right? You're going to be at the International Behavior Analysis Conference.
Right.
So what is it that you will be talking about?
Well, I thought it might be interesting for people in the behavior analysis community, which is largely application to human behavior, to see the circle closing from rats and pigeons to human behavior and then back to animals again. So I've put together 3 case studies that I will do just a brief description of with zoo animals that were in need of environmental changes to support alternative, more healthful behaviors. And so there'll be a few minutes discussion of a rhino named Jumbe, who was not comfortable staying up in the visitor viewing area. So he was considered recalcitrant. He didn't do his job, and we needed to help him experience sample reinforcers there and encourage him to stay there for 8 hours a day. And then the other case study is with an elephant, an old gal, who was originally a camp elephant. So she's had a hard history in a lot of ways. Most of her life. And with her tusks, she injured her wrists and toes with her tusks. And so we did an extensive...
Susan, I lost your voice there for a little bit. You said she had had a hard life in many ways. Could you please repeat what you said after that?
She was a camp elephant. So she was a ride elephant for children in a camp setting, which nowadays, by current standards, we would consider not an appropriate environment for an elephant. And so I think that certainly was predictive of some of the behavioral deficits that she had. And the one that we worked on now for almost 3 years with good success was self-injurious behavior. She would use her tusks to injure her wrist and her toes. And so we did functional assessments where we hypothesized what were the conditions under which it was most likely to happen and what might the maintaining reinforcers be. And then we, in each of the different conditions, did a really comprehensive refitting of her environment to try and provide alternative strong reinforcers to the tasking behavior. And that one's fun to look at with behavior analysts, because where the one with the rhino is a nice clean A-B design. Before we started our new program, the rhino wasn't staying up in the visitor area at all. And then the intervention began, and there's just pretty much a straight line to 8 hours, day after day. He just kept increasing his number of hours in the desired location. With Edie, the elephant, those graphs look like a ball of yarn after a cat has spent an hour playing with it.
Wow.
I mean, there are just lines everywhere, and repeatedly tweaking in the intervention and long delays in intervention implementation, which is part of the reality of working in a zoo. But we have reduced it to near zero, and that's thrilling. It'll take constant vigilance, I think, to keep, but we're at least in a good place now. And then the last one is with an orangutan baby. So, yeah, 3 very different, very appealing species, and great demonstration of the universality of these principles. And then some of the individual custom fitting that's done for the species and also the individual within a species. So
I think it's, I'm really looking forward to being in the audience there, because as you're saying, we will have, most of the audience will most likely be people working with humans. And it's so lovely to get this, this bridging between the human side, the animal side, and with you there who have been working so much with both as a behavior analyst with humans and nowadays so much with animals. I think this, it will be very interesting also to hear the discussions and the questions that arise.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have time for some interesting discussion. You know, there's certainly, I've learned at least as much as I had learned in the first 20 years of my life as a behavior analyst working with children. I've learned again in animals, but in all cases, the principles have stayed very robust and reliable and useful. So yeah, should be fun.
It will be. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit in advance what we can expect, those of us who will have the pleasure of being in the audience. Very much looking forward to seeing you in Stockholm.
Good. I really look forward to, I do too, look forward to seeing you and all of the members of the ABA community.
Yeah. So thank you.